Donald Trump's return to the White House adds more unpredictability to an already volatile world.
We are living in a serious time. Whoa. Don't let the devil blow your mind. The time is so serious, cantankerous and dangerous. It's only in the Father, you know I put my trust. The time is so serious, cantankerous and dangerous. All over the world, everyone is in a heated rush. It's not everything good for eat, good for talk. I don't trust no shadow after dark. They will walk and talk, eat and drink with you, pretend as if they are with you. But I won't let no one harm me, and I won't try to harm anyone. But when you think it's peace and safety, is a sudden destruction.
Shalom. First of all, I'd like to start off by giving all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakdash. Double honor to teachers, elders, and apostles of Great Millstone. Likewise, brothers putting out this truth. Fifthly, fearlessly feeding the sheep, and two brothers and sisters that are tuning in. Shalom. Today's lesson's title, Measure the Time Diligently. Now, you probably hear us say this a lot, because we read it from the scripture. We're in those days where things are not what people have become accustomed to. Things are changing, and what you're seeing is a lot of conflicts across the globe. You've seen people that are, for the first time in their life, experiencing instabilities, and people are right now crashing out. And in today's lesson, we're going to take a look at a couple of clips, showcasing this. In primarily the focus is on Great Babylon America. And people, of course, are turning to what they think is going to be the best avenue of escape. However, we, as the watchmen of Yasharala Israel, know that the best avenue of escape is to trust in the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai. Let's start with our first scripture here before we continue on with other clips. This is the first Esdras 4 and start verse 37. It reads, Wine is wicked, the king is wicked, women are wicked, and all the children of men are wicked, and such are all their wicked works. And there's no truth in them. In their unrighteousness also they shall perish. As for the truth, it endureth, and is always strong. It liveth, and conquereth forevermore. So those of us who have put our faith into Yahweh Shema Shai, who were ignorantly called God and Jesus, we understand that the evil works of the people on this earth is only going to lead to death. But those of us that believe in this truth will endure until we're taken out by the Mashiach upon his return.
For over a century, the world has looked to the Statue of Liberty as a beacon of hope. But in 2026, a massive wave of people is moving in the opposite direction. You're not mistaken, a historic migration is quietly taking place. Just last year, more than 3 million people left the United States, the largest number since the Great Depression of the 1930s. This is no longer about illegal immigration, but about de-Americanization, as the middle class themselves are fleeing their homeland to seek refuge in Europe. Why has a world-leading superpower become a place people want to escape from because of instability, exorbitant costs, or a system cracking from within?
Now keep in mind that Great Babylon America had been a golden cup. These nations have drunken off this place. The people that came here or immigrated here thought that they were going to have a better life. And even the people that are here, who came here illegally, these so-called Caucasians, the Edomites, that has called this place their land. Now they're realizing maybe this wasn't quite as heavenly as they thought it would be. Now they're running over to Europe. The problem is that that's not going to solve the problem. The judgment is already upon the wicked. Let's go to the book of Matthew 12 and verse 25 reads, And Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And we have a division here. Okay, you have those that want to have a continuity, of the way things has always been going, have immigrants here, everybody try to work together. Of course, that means that the so-called white people or the Edomites there are going to remain on top, okay? And everybody else really in the servitude position or continuously remain in poverty. However, what you're seeing right now is a change, okay? We can go into Deuteronomy 32 and verse 39 to see just how the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, okay, how he does things. It reads, "See now that I, even I, am he, and there's no God with me. I kill and I make alive, I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand." And this is not only just talking about, individuals that the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai can bring judgment, but this is also in regards to these nations. Okay, when you look at that word right there, it says, "I wound and I heal." Okay, America's wounded right now. Okay, it's wounded. Okay, the things are not going the way people have always thought that it would go. In fact, let's go to Isaiah 13 and start verse 11 before we move further with another video. It reads, "And I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible." Where are these people going? Europe, okay, which a lot of these Edomites are from, okay, including those that, are generational so-called Americans, okay, is going to be a place that's going to experience a lot of hell, okay, in the near future. This is the book of 2 Ezra 15, down verse 12. It reads, "Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that power shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for the sea shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful consolation." And the next clips that you're going to see, it's talking about these people. And one thing that you would hear them mention a lot is they're working, more than 40 hours, or they're working 80 hours a week, and they just don't seem to be able to make ends meet. And to the point where people are just saying, screw it, I'm just going to allow my life to fall apart. Now, in this society, if you don't pay your bills, okay, and all of our bills, utility bills, credit card bills, car notes, house notes, whatever, it's tied to your 9-digit social security number, which means what? And everything that you do, as far as paying your bills on time or late or whatever the case is reported to the 3 credit bureaus. So if your credit is low, it requires you to have more deposit for certain things, cash, as you hear some mention, you need 3 times income of the rent to get into place, but the jobs don't pay that much. Okay, and even if you attempt to try to get there, the price of goods it's outpacing the income. So people are finding themselves, it's basically like trying to climb up a slippery rope. And the answer to some people right now is like, you know what, screw it. And we know where this is going to lead. So let's take a look at these clips before we move on to some other ones.
I've been living in my car with my 2 cats, and I'm trying to figure out how to get out of that situation.
Rent and everything else, it's just impossible for me to afford anywhere to stay.
I'm literally crashing out right now. We are in such a financial hole.
I'm fucking stressed out! I work my ass off, and I can't even fucking pay bills!
Something is wrong. And most people can already feel it. Not a crash, not a recession, just a quiet pressure that keeps building even when you are doing everything right. The paycheck comes in, the lights are on. From the outside, everything looks fine. But underneath that surface, the math has stopped working. More than half of Americans cannot cover a $1,000 emergency without borrowing money. Not people who gave up. People who are employed, showing up every day, doing exactly what they were told would keep them stable. One bill. One missed week. One thing going wrong at the wrong time, and the collapse begins. This is not about bad decisions. It is about a structure that has quietly broken underneath millions of ordinary households. And once you see how it broke, a lot of things that have not made sense recently suddenly will.
So how much did I spend in hospital bills for giving birth to my sons? $65,698.30.
The medical bills are ridiculous.
I've decided that I'm never going to pay back my student loans.
It's one or the other. We pay our health care and our medical bills, or we pay our student loan bill.
All right, I'm going to come clean. I left $40,000 in credit card debt when I moved out of the States to Colombia.
Something is changing in the United States. People are falling behind on their loans, their credit cards, their medical debt. But what's concerning is people are starting to not care anymore. And it's not because they're irresponsible. It's because after years of working harder, earning more, and still falling behind, Americans are beginning to become detached from the system itself.
Basically, people are losing it, okay? They no longer feel that even being responsible is worth it anymore. So what you have is people saying, you know, why bother, okay? And this is what happens when you have the wicked in rulership, okay? And, you know, the people of the land has been forsaken. But this is the Lord Yahweh Shemashai at work, okay? He's making that transition happen. The curses that has been plaguing us is now plaguing all these other people. And 2/3 of our people are still involved, you know, with trying to rebuild Great Babylon America, but it's not going to happen, okay?
I understand why people are still paying bills when a lot of y'all can't even afford to feed y'all families. I mean, it's crystal clear that the government don't care about y'all. Never have.
Do I have tens of thousands of medical bills from delivery? Yes. Am I completely ignoring those medical bills and instead spending money on my child buying stuff online for him? Also, yes. They're not going to repossess the child.
This is Luke 21. Verse 25 reads, "And there shall be signs in the sun and the moon and the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring." Okay, keep in mind there's 18 tribes that was created. You know, the two main tribes that are basically, you know, having a face-off right now is Yasharala and Edom, okay, or the so-called white man and the children of Israel, okay, which we know they're going to have the upper hand initially as far as, you know, killing off a lot of our people, you know, which is the will of the Lord Yahweh Shemashai. The 2 parts be cut off, and 1/3 will be, you know, brought through the fire and have to call on the true name of the Lord, which is Yahweh, okay, and the son name is Yahweh Shai. Okay, in order to be saved, and then we're going to see the end, okay, of this wicked rulership. But the rest of these people, their minds and heart are set into this place, and this is the reason why they're perplexed. They can't understand why is this happening. You know, they'll profess to be Christians, they'll profess to be whatever the hell religion that they follow, but they still wouldn't, you know, absorb the thought in their mind that deity, the deity who created all of this, is also the one that's bringing it down. You know, they're under this hypnosis, okay, or hypnotize, you know, or false doctrine. Continue, it says, "Man's heart failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken." We close up with Proverbs 17 and verse 5. It reads, "Whoso mocketh the poor reproacheth his maker, and he that is glad at calamity shall not be unpunished." Now, that doesn't include us, you know, that we're glad at the calamities that these people are experiencing. You know, they're working at dead, they're experiencing hell. This is talking about the evil, the wicked. That's why it starts off with, "Whoso mocketh the poor reproacheth his maker." This is Esau. They're setting it up. Every week it's a yo-yo effect. Okay, we're talking peace deal, no peace deal. Okay, gas prices go up because of oil. You know, the price of oil is going to go up. You know, food and price goes up, you know, and this is mockery, and this is what's, get used to this, people, okay? This is what we're going through right now. This is why it's measure the time diligently. There's no time to sleep. You have to look at it. It's just the way it is. And why? The Mashiach is going to return to set up a righteous kingdom. So this current kingdom has to fall. One way or the other, it's going to fall. Lord willing, like we said, Father, close up again, all going on to Yahweh, Shemi, Shai, Shimmer, Kakadash, Shalom.